the Legion of Boom's best game ever. How do you score 58 points while only throwing for 150 yards? All you need is one of the greatest defenses in NFL history to get you 8 turnovers and only allow 150 yards on offense. We are talking about arguably the Legion of Boom's best game in their history in 2012. And to this point in the Legion of Boom's history, they had never beat a team by more than 24 points. And coming up to this game, the Seahawks were in a must-win game against the Chicago Bears, slightly behind their division rivals, the Niners, for the division lead. This game is widely considered as Russell Wilson's coming out party as one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the NFL. A 17-17 overtime game with everything on the line. Russell Wilson then went 5 for 5 and then ended it off with a 13-yard touchdown pass to Sidney Rice, winning with an overtime victory over the 8-3 Chicago Bears. The Legion of Boom did struggle in this game, allowing 165 yards to Brandon Marshall, and they were absolutely ready for a bounce back week the next game. So the 7-5 Seahawks, desperately needing some momentum to catch the 8-3-1 Niners, needed a win over their division rivals, the Cardinals, who they had lost to earlier that year in Russell Wilson's first career game. It came down to the last play on the goal line, which was ridiculously close statistically. And John Skelton as the Cardinals starting quarterback, the Cardinals received their first kickoff. And just 5 plays into the game, Skelton threw an interception intended for Larry Fitzgerald that was picked off by Bobby Wagner, which was returned for 45 yards, and then a 10-yard penalty that put the Seahawks on the Cardinals' 14-yard line. But after a Russell Wilson sack, the Seahawks were forced to kick a 31-yard field goal. The Legion of Boom then forced the Cardinals to punt. The Seahawks put together a long drive and topped it off with a 20-yard Marshawn Lynch touchdown. The Hawks then forced another 3-and-out, and then in 2 plays with a 67-yard pass from Russell Wilson and a 4-yard touchdown run by Marshawn Lynch, the Hawks were up 17-0. The next drive, the Seahawks forced their second turnover with a Chris Clemons strip sack. The Hawks offense failed to capitalize and punted, but on the Cardinals' first play, Richard Sherman picked off the intended pass for Larry Fitzgerald and returned it for a 15-yard touchdown. And in 10 minutes left in the second quarter, the Seahawks were now ahead 24-0. And after 5 back-to-back drives that were all stopped in the tracks, including an interception from both sides, Malcolm Smith then picked up a fumble and returned it for a touchdown. The Hawks then scored yet another touchdown with a 24-yard touchdown pass from Russell Wilson to Zach Miller, with only 11 seconds left in the half, ending the first half, a lopsided score of 38-0. The Seahawks received the second half kickoff and drove 86 yards that ended with a beast mode in the end zone after a 33-yard run. On the next drive, the nightmare continued for the Cardinals, with Bobby Wagner stepping in front of Andre Roberts for his second interception and the defense's 5th turnover. The Seahawks then turned that into a field goal and were now up 48-0. Skelton then was benched and replaced by Ryan Lindley, only to fumble 5 plays later after a strip sack that was recovered by Richard Sherman. The Hawks again ended in a field goal, and after 3 drives that went nowhere, the Hawks drove 68 yards on their backup offense and handed the ball to Leon Washington for a 3-yard touchdown. The Legion of Boom then ended the game by stopping the Cardinals on 4th down, ending their best game at that point in their history, scoring a franchise record in points and making this the 3rd biggest blowout in NFL history.